Oh shit. And we live, man. Welcome to the Cold Truth Podcast where we tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and don't care how you feel about it. Once again, I'm your host, White Boy Chris. That's Dre. And I guess we should keep it going. Because I wasn't gonna do
Oh yeah.
no donkeys, but the Boston Celtics are a bunch of donkeys.
Woo!
All of them. Upper management players, every last one of them.
Man, if we talking donkey of the week, all right. If you want to give it to the Celtics, that's fine. But I'm specifically going to point out Joe Mazzulla or whatever his name is, Joe John. I don't care,
Uh
Mazzulla. I mean, you, and again, you can't just point him out. You got to point out the front office. You got a Boston
Everybody.
Celtics team that made the finals last year, and then you fire their coach. I mean, first of all, man, he piping down the owner's wife. All right, man, he was winning games. Ain't that what we trying to
Exactly.
do? Ain't that what we trying to do, man? He was winning games. You piping down other people anyways. You know when you
Facts.
go on them little trips, you going over there getting the massages with Deshaun Watson. You piping down folks anyways. Let your wife have fun too. But that's neither here nor there. If you know you got a team that's built to win now, why in the hell would you hire a first-year coach? A first-year coach who clearly went to the Doc Rivers School of Coaching because all he does is stand there with his arms folded, and during timeouts, he tries to run off and act all like he's upset, but really, he just don't want to have to coach him. Last night was the most embarrassing because he walked off, and Al Horford was like, fuck, all right, somebody got to talk to the team, and Al Horford started coaching. Man, it is a donkey fest. I don't blame Tatum. I don't blame Brown. I blame the front office and I blame Joe Mazzulla. The players are playing, but at some point, when you know you don't got no leadership, it is deteriorating. It
Hmm.
hurts. It hurts. I don't because we've seen Tatum and we know Brown. Them boys, they want to play. They've been doing it since they got into this league. So when you hire the wrong coach, man, it can set your team back. And that's exactly what's going on over there in Boston.
Yeah, bro. Like I said, I done said I don't feel like they have an identity. They're just a bunch of talented players out there just running wild, running like chickens with their heads cut off.
And it's because of the coach. We saw them looking great last year. They beat this same Heat team in 7. The Heat team this year is worse than it was last
It's
year when we
worse
talk
than it
about just
was
a talent
last year.
standpoint. When we talk about a talent standpoint, they were a better team last year than they were this year.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Like shit, Boston they added players here. Miami got niggas hurt.
Yeah, yeah. You add Malcolm Brogdon, a form was he was rookie of the year, Malcolm Brogdon. Miami Heat lost Tyler Hero and Victor Oladipo, and now they're about to win. They're probably about to sweep them. But
Yeah,
again, it, it,
Miami is
it
not gonna lose 4 games, bro.
nah, no. They're not. So yeah, that Joe Mazzulla, that's my donkey of the week.
Like I
Brad
said,
Stevens in that front
everybody
office,
getting it. Everybody
they
getting
they
it from
sharing
me.
that award with him.
Yeah, everybody getting it from me. All of them are a bunch of
Mm.
donkeys.
Oh yeah,
But
birds and
that
donkeys
leads
out
us
there in
in.
Boston.
But that leads us into our next topic, man. Of course, the Boston versus the Heat game. Like I said, I ain't really got too much to say about these conference finals. This has been one of the worst conference finals that I can remember. Just games that I can actually remember.
It's compelling though. It is
But
compelling.
it's compelling, but it's like I guess it's just the competitiveness of it, man. It's just
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Lakers playing hard, but it's like, god damn, I ain't want to see no sweep. I at least want to see 6 games.
I feel like with
And
the
that's
the
just me,
Lakers
talking as
situation.
a fanboy. But
Mm. Yeah.
I like to watch. I like to see good competitive games, man.
Yeah. I feel the Lakers situation might be a little bit more embarrassing than the Boston situation, just because of the fact, for me, Denver plays with 7 players. They
Yeah.
play with 7 players. Why does Denver look like they're the team with more energy and effort out there? They play with 7 players. That's it. I think they play with 8, but that eighth guy gets like 3 or 4 minutes. Denver plays
Hmm.
with 7 players. There's no reason why they're winning the 50-50 ball battle. while they're getting more offensive rebounds. I don't know what it is with the Lakers, but they're not closing games. And we can't blame it on the other guys. I can't even blame it on D'Angelo Russell. You got to go with the stars. Anthony Davis in
Man,
game 3 had 2
but
points in the fourth quarter.
D'Angelo Russell been playing bad though, man. He been
He's been
real
playing
bad.
he's been playing bad, but let's be real. He's still a role player. D'Angelo Russell has talent, but then he is a role player. Your
No,
role
I
player's
get you,
job.
but I'm a still, shit. You still on the court though, nigga. You got to give me something. Like you got to at least give me some positive production, and he's been bad across the board. So
He's
I
been
ain't trying to
bad. He's
I
been
ain't trying
bad
to put it
across.
all on him. Don't get me wrong. I ain't trying to put it all. There's blame to go around, but I mean, I was talking about this. I just don't think this is a good series for him. I don't think that he's
Oh,
able
it's
to
a
get.
terrible series.
Yeah, this is a bad matchup for him. He is literally shutting them down. He's having to will himself to keep even trying, by doing these, a couple plays on defense. But it's like, you're that those little things you're doing on defense is not going to overshadow how bad you're playing on offense. You know what I'm
But I
saying?
mean, if we're being honest, he has the most difficult matchup of the series. Yes, Jokic is tough, but let's be real. Jokic ain't going to have you running all over the place. You
Right.
know what I mean? Jokic isn't going to have you running into screens. D'Angelo Russell having to guard Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray is killing him. Jamal Murray is
Mm-hmm.
coming off the screens. Jamal Murray is attacking him off the dribble. Jamal Murray is doing everything. So then in that situation, you got to turn back around and try to run the offense. It's a lot to ask out of D'Angelo Russell, but my thing with role players is if one of your guards is playing bad, that's a role player. If your other guard's a role player and he's playing good, I'm fine with that. He's playing terrible, but Austin Reeves is playing great. So at least that neutralizes how bad D'Angelo Russell's playing. And my big thing is for role players, your job is that in the fourth quarter, you put your star players in a position where they can still win the game. And they've done that in every game this series. They have allowed LeBron and AD that, hey, it's an 8-point game. It's a 6-point game. You guys go ahead and take us home. AD and LeBron James have not taken the Lakers home in any of these games yet. And all 3 of them have been winnable games. All 3 of
Mm-hmm.
them. So it's just, to me, it's LeBron and AD kind of falling short this series. LeBron, I get it. We're going to keep saying, oh, he's 38, but we got to pick one side or the other. You can't, if somebody says he's not a top 10 player, don't come out here and say that he is, and then we hold him to expectation of, hey, fourth quarter, you got to bring your team home. It's one or the other. Is he 38 and he's old, or is it he's still one of the best players in the league? If he's still one of the best players in the league, then he should have won at least one of those 3 games.
Yeah. I mean,
But
I agree with you on everything you said. I ain't gonna say that series looks worse than the the Celtics being down to the Heat. I feel like that looks a lot worse when we start looking in the perspective of, okay, how these people had the Celtics favorite. When you look at where they were seated, and then I started thinking, I was like, Boston may have dodged a bullet by them losing that playing game. Who's to say
yeah,
they wouldn't have had them out in the first round? And then the narrative becomes, okay, the number 1 seed and the number 2 seed both got knocked out. Well, no, Milwaukee would have won because they would have got Atlanta. But
yeah,
still, I mean, who's to say that this wouldn't have happened in the first round? Because I mean, it ain't like health is an issue on Boston side. They still got all their people, and I guess when you just look at, and not to go off the rails, but I just need to throw this out there. If a 9 or 10 seed does not make it to a playoff through this play-in tournament, it just needs to go.
yeah.
I don't like it. It's a waste of time. All of this is just another way for the league to get a little bit of money off of these games. That's all it is. I get the business side of it, but when we really look at it, the only thing that has changed is that, okay, a 7 seed may end up dropping to an 8 seed, but no 9 or 10 seed has made it. If
Uh,
I'm not mistaken, unless it was the Pelicans that one year.
Atlanta made it, correct? Well, I think.
Oh, well, let me say this: they ain't made it. They ain't made it past the first round. Let me say they ain't made it past the first
Yeah,
round. They still get knocked out when they supposed to. You know what I'm saying? If you
yeah,
finish the season as a 9 or 10 seed, and you somehow, made it into the playoffs, they haven't advanced past the second round.
Nah,
So it's
but
kind of almost, it's damn near like, I mean, it's almost like a gimme to the first and second seeds. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're the ninth and 10th seed for a reason.
I think I think the NBA did it for two reasons. Number one, like you said, for ratings, and number two, they don't really want to see these upsets like how we did, like when Golden State knocked off Dallas. They don't want to see these number one seeds or really the top rated teams go down early. So you put them in a favorable matchup against a team that just had to play 2 or 3 games to make it to the playoffs. Because again, you just don't want them to end up in a situation where they're just playing against a hot team. But honestly, might end up doing that the opposite as well. But I think the NBA wants the number one seeds to advance more often. That way, we see the most marketable teams end up, down the stretch. But honestly, just kind of getting back to the conference finals, I think in the
Yeah.
East, the reason why I'm not saying that the Boston Celtics series is as embarrassing as a Lakers series is because I feel the biggest star in the playoffs so far is Eric Spoelstra. Eric Spoelstra, to me, has solidified himself as probably the best NBA coach in NBA history. Because to me, when I think about a coach, the biggest thing is how you develop talent and how you use talent. I don't think any coach over the course of their career has developed talent and used talent better than Eric Spoelstra has. And he's shown it this year in the playoffs. Everybody's talking about playoff Jimmy Butler. And Jimmy's been playing very, very well. Don't get me wrong. But if we think about Jimmy Butler's teams he's been on in the last 7, 8 years, this is the least talented team Jimmy Butler has played on. This team isn't more talented than the Bulls roster. It's not more talented than the Minnesota roster. It's not more talented than that 76ers roster. But he's in a position now where he's going to get to play in his second NBA Finals, and it's because of the leadership and the guys like Eric Spoelstra. He literally gets guys from the gas station, and he wins games with them. You show me an all-time great coach, the Phil Jacksons, the Greg Popoviches. You show me rosters that they're able to do as much as what Eric Spoelstra's doing with this roster. You can't. You cannot. The Eric Spoelstra, to me, is the greatest coach this game has seen. And he continuously proves it.
That could be an argument for another day. But
Man, hey man, you go to church and argue that. Go to church and argue that. Go to the parking lot and argue that. Nobody can show me a roster that Greg Popovich, Phil Jackson, any of these guys have had where they've done more than what Eric Spoelstra is doing right now. No, you can't. So that's the end of that argument. That's the end of that argument, man. But yeah, that's all I got to say about this year's playoffs. It is the Eric Spoelstra show. It is Eric Spoelstra's world, and we're just all living in it. If Eric Spoelstra could get some kids from the YMCA, and he's going to win at least one playoff series with them. Eric Spoelstra is that damn good. And it's time we start giving him his flowers, a bouquet of them. I want roses. I want dandelions. I want spring flowers. I want go steal them flowers you gave to your mama 2 weeks ago and give them to Eric Spoelstra. Eric Spoelstra needs every flower in that damn garden because he's that damn good.
well, now that I mean, honestly though, if we really look at it, then we could just chalk it up as that shit. These conference finals might just come down to the experience of the coaches. You
Oh,
got to think.
that's all that shit
You
is,
got to think
man.
about it. You got two first-year head coaches that are getting their asses kicked.
And this is the thing.
And
In the regular
I really
season,
think Darvin Ham's. I really think his biggest. I do not think that rotations are his strong point.
no.
Like, I really don't. I mean, right now, I'm glad to see that he ain't got D'Lo on the floor, which he needs to come sit here by me, son, because
Yeah.
I don't think he needs to see valuable minutes because he has been playing. I'm sorry. I mean, when we start looking at more in depth as far as like how he's looking on defense, plus minus, it is bad. I don't think he's had one game with a positive plus minus against the Nuggets so far.
But they're leaving him out to dry as well. I mean, I don't blame. He's not a great one-on-one defender, but he's a good offensive talent. As the head coach, he needs
Right.
to find ways that he can hide D'Angelo Russell more on the defensive side. They literally stick D'Angelo Russell out there in front of Jamal Murray and let him die. They
Well,
pin
but
that
that's the
man on that
thing there.
cross.
But the thing about it is, bro, he can't. That's the only person that he can like. I don't think they're really trying to double Murray, and I feel like that's the reason. Like that's why I
That's
feel
the
like
biggest
an
problem.
adjustment should have been made a long time ago. Because who else are you going to put him on? Jamal Murray is the smallest person on the court.
Man.
D'Angelo Russell is small. He cannot. He's not going to hang with Gordon. He's not going to hang with KCP. He's not going to hang with Michael Porter Jr.
Oh,
And
that's who you
He's
put him
not.
on. You put him
He's not finna
on
bang with
KCP.
Jokic.
You put him on KCP. You put him on the standstill shooter. You put him on the spot up shooter. If
I
D'Angelo
don't even
Russell,
think he can handle KCP, man.
I think he can. And then you put Reeves. You put Reeves on Russell. You put the younger player with a scrappier player on Russell, and then you got to switch on pick. As much as that's a pain, you got to put guys out there that they're going to be able to at least switch on pick and rolls, and they're going to contest shots. That's the Lakers' biggest problem, man. They are not contesting shots. When you see that Miami Heat team, the reason why Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are shooting like shit from the 3-point line, every single shot, you got guys running at them. You got guys running at them. You don't see that over there with the Lakers. But again, yes, I completely agree with you that this series is being decided by the coaches. Players are going to win you regular season games. Players are going to win you the first round of the playoffs. But once you start getting to those conference semis, those conference championships, and then, of course, the NBA finals, you need a coach that's going to be able to make one or two adjustments during the game. If you
Yeah,
can't make an adjustment, it's going to be really, really, really hard to win playoff games, and that's what's going on. I think Darvin Ham and I think Mazzulla, I think both of them are going to be fine coaches down the line, but there's a reason why if you're going to hire a young coach, you put him on a young team as well. Put him on the Detroit Pistons. Put him on the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're not ready to win big playoff games just yet, but you're putting them in a position where now they got to fast track their development, and that's not fair to them. So, it's just, I think management ownership needs to be more conscious when you're hiring a head coach. The Lakers' job was not a job for a first-year head coach. The Celtics' job was not a job for a first-year head coach. Get a guy with some experience that's going to be able to make those adjustments when we get to these conference finals.
I mean, shit. I'm trying to think who was really available like that last year, though.
Man, well, for that Boston Celtics job, I think Chauncey Billups
Nah,
would
for
have been a good hire.
the Lakers.
For the Lakers,
Yeah, I don't know who all they was even interviewing for that hoe. To be honest with you,
yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know
know
who
if too
they're
many people
interviewing for
wanted
that
that. I
either,
don't know,
but
bro. I really don't think too many people wanted that job.
the Lakers,
To be honest with
I
you,
think they saw LeBron, they saw Westbrook, they saw some bad contracts, and it's just not as appealing as what it
yeah,
may have been. But
yeah,
I still
shit.
think
And
guys would
you
have
know
taken
it's
it.
bad if Chauncey went to Portland.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
but yeah,
But
bro,
nah,
I don't know, but yeah, I mean, if I just wanted to keep it simple to wrap it up to anybody, I would just say that these two series come down to coaching. Both of these first year
yeah.
coaches are clearly getting exposed. I mean, Darvin Ham is I don't know why it took him to game 4 to finally make a starting adjustment and to realize that he needs to take D'Lo out of the starting lineup.
But the biggest thing to me, I don't know why it took him so long to start Roy Hachimura. I think we talked about that on the show a week or so ago. We're like,
Yeah,
man,
he.
you got to start him. I mean, to me, it made no sense. And then
I
the
mean,
fact that
I
Lonnie Walker was
understood.
piling up DNPs too. I
Yeah, Lonnie
mean,
Walker, I feel like should have got more playing time, but I mean, I really do feel. Again, I feel like Lonnie Walker had a better advantage in that Golden State series versus this one. But at the same time, I understand. I mean, it shouldn't have. Like again, sometimes you just gotta change some shit up. I feel like Rui should have been starting after that game 1 or in game because he didn't start game 3 either, did he?
I think he started game 3. I think that was
Okay.
his first game starting.
Yeah, but so I would have started them game 2, but I feel like they were trying to get too cute, trying to, trick the Nuggets like, oh no, I know you've been hearing we're gonna start them, but oh we're not. We finna switch it up on you. But come on, man. Do
Nah,
what you gotta do. I don't give a damn if they know it or not. They still gotta stop it.
And
You still
the
got to stop
Lakers,
it.
the biggest to me, the biggest fault they had is the fact that, come on, man, how easy is it? You have one of the deeper rosters since that trade. If you look at their roster from top to bottom, they have one of the more deeper rosters in this playoffs, and they didn't use that to their advantage. The Denver Nuggets play 7 players. They play
Yeah,
seven
because
players.
I really feel like I mean a lot of people ain't been talking about him, but I really feel like Mo Bamba is like being out for whatever reason.
I
I
don't
don't
know
know
what it
why
is.
he hasn't been getting played more. I don't know
I,
why. I feel like he's got size, he's got a stroke, he can defend. I mean, he ain't the best defender, but he gives effort. I don't
he
know why he hasn't been. I don't know why he didn't see any playing time in the first round,
and again, and
especially
not to
when the
segue
only
out of that.
big especially when the only big that you really had to worry about over there was Jaren Jackson Jr. Steven Adams was hurt. Jaren Jackson Jr. literally was playing the 5 when he's more accustomed to getting his work done at the 4.
Yeah.
So I just don't
And,
understand why some. I mean, I was hearing that he been hurt this whole time. I was unaware of that. They were talking about he just came back from some injury. Like, when did this happen? Did he get hurt in practice? When did this happen?
did he get hurt? Did he slip on some water over there
Some
on the
water
bench?
heading to the bench? I don't know what
Yeah,
happened.
nah, man, but again, and I know I already talked about the GOAT. I already talked about GOAT Spoelstra, but this is what separates Eric Spoelstra. He uses that regular season as a way to get all of his guys minutes. If you go back and you look at some of these Heat box scores, you got guys like Jokic, not Jokic from Denver. You got Miami Heat Jokic. He had games where he let Jokic get minutes just to see what he could do. He had games where Victor Oladipo was getting heavy minutes just to see what he could do. He makes sure that everybody on that roster, he's at least giving them time, games, stretches where he sees what they can do. And come playoff time, Eric Spoelstra empties a clip. He plays 9 guys in the playoffs. He plays
Hmm.
9 guys, and every single guy knows their role. They all have a role. Everybody's giving Jimmy credit, which he deserves. But man, this team is a complete team. Everybody out there has a role, and they play
Yeah,
their asses
yesterday
off.
was really the first game where Jimmy ain't even had to lead the ship. That was the
I,
first game
I mean,
all.
even then, if you look, I think he's been their leading scorer once in this series. I think he's the leading scorer once.
Mm,
Yeah, because what's his name? Gabe Vincent led him in scoring
this
last
last
game,
game, I think
and
he
and I
had. I
think
think he had to pass two. No, he had to pass two. He had to
I
pass
think
two.
Bam led him in scoring last game. I mean, game 2.
Game two, he may have, but shit, he needed to though. Bam was due.
But look, Bam
But
again.
I feel
Bam
you though.
is
I
moving
feel what you're
slow.
saying though.
Yeah. But nah, that's all I got to say about these conference finals, man. We know it's Dookie water and ass milk right now, but
Yeah, man.
hey man, it's better than watching baseball.
Yeah, I mean, because we kind of done touched on both of the teams, so both of the series. So yeah, we kind of went ahead and got that over with, man. But
Oh man, thank God, thank the Lord.
yeah, man, we got that. But because like I mean, I don't, like I said, it ain't really too much to dissect. It ain't really too much to talk about. We done seen the trend. We done seen what's going on. So I don't need to talk about it.
Yep.
But let's move on into this next topic, man. Dame time is over in Portland. Dame time is over in Portland.
Don done threw my damn watch in that trash years ago. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go first, and I'm gonna talk
I mean,
about
and
this
see,
fool.
I ain't even gonna talk about him so much as from a talent standpoint. I'm just looking at it. Okay, Portland, you have a top pick in the draft. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm really more looking at it, not even so much from a Damian Lillard point of view, even though he been chirping on Twitter, talking about petitions and shit. But it's like, come on, man. Come on, man. Cut it out, bro. Like, stop it. That's all. That's all. Just stop it, bro. At the end of the day, man, this is a business, and you know that. You already got your money, so if you go anywhere, you act like that check
Yeah,
ain't coming with you. But
yeah. Oh, Aaron Gordon. Yeah,
but Portland needs to go ahead and just pull the plug on this shit, man. This is
pull
one of
that
those
shit.
experiments that's gone on for way too long. It should have got pulled. Shit, it's probably been 2 years, 3 years too late, in my
Yeah,
opinion. When they did that trade to ship off CJ, I feel
to
like that
ship
off
out
season
Dame too.
they should have been taking phone calls. But now it's like, bro, I don't know what else you need to see. You have a top pick in the draft. You're gonna get at least 3 picks for this man. Somebody's gonna give you 3 picks.
Yeah.
They're gonna give you 3 picks and maybe a role player or a couple of their young guns, because somebody is gonna be in that win now mode, and they're gonna say fuck them picks.
Yeah.
Portland needs to. I mean, Damian Lillard can scream all that loyalty shit all he wants to, but what Portland needs to realize is that motherfucker ain't gonna be there forever.
Yeah.
He's going to retire, whether it's in your jersey or not. He's going to retire. And do you want to be stuck in the position where you held on to a nigga for so long, to where now you pretty much sunk yourself in the mud and you're rebuilding when you could have got him out of there years ago? Got some future draft picks. You got Anthony Simons there. You got some other good young pieces there.
Shaden Sharp.
You got Shaden Sharp. You got some good young talent. If you don't trust your coach, well, shit, you just got Chauncey Billups. Give him some young talent. See if he can develop these dudes. But Dame has to go. I don't understand why they are holding on to this man for. I don't get it. I don't get it. They act like, I mean, what have you done for me lately? That's what it comes down to. What have you done for me lately? And the shit hasn't produced. The only thing he's done is put asses in seats, because there's nothing else to do in Portland. But other than that, man, look, Dame, cut the cap, man. This shit is over. You got your endorsements. You got your BioFreeze money. You got your, coming up from the slums commercial with Modelo.
Oh my God!
Give it a rest. Say, man, hey, man, you're a nice, talented rapper with a nice flow. Just give it a rest, man.
Really, really nice.
Give it a rest, man.
This what I gotta say about Dame Time and all his bullshit, man. Like, look, Damian Lillard, the basketball player, terrific basketball player, but we gotta stop. We gotta stop capping all the time when it comes to these guys who are saying they're keeping it real. You know what keeping it real in today's game means? It means I just want to go and get buckets, and I don't want to be judged off of winning. Damian Lillard's afraid of putting himself in a situation where he has expectations. It's easier to go make walk-off game-winning shots and shit like that when you know you don't have any expectations, because that's what it's like playing in Portland. So when he makes these big-time clutch shots, is it really a clutch shot when you're playing in Portland? Nobody's expecting you to win like that. So if you lose, man, he's playing in Portland. He's doing the best he can. When you win, Dame time. Nah, man. Cut the shit, man. Cut the shit. So when he went off and he was talking about Joel Embiid, and his little tweets, bro, Joel Embiid wants to put himself in a position where he's going to win championships. Joel Embiid holds himself to a higher standard. He wants to play with great players, because with great players comes great expectations. And that's what Joel Embiid and other guys, other superstars around this league want. You can't win by yourself. Damian Lillard, he likes being in these situations. He likes being in a situation where all it's really about is just getting buckets. And that's all he's really done in his career, is he got buckets. Now, he made it to the conference finals. He got extremely hot. He had some favorable matchups. But what has he really done? This Portland team didn't even make the play-in tournament. They didn't make the play-in tournament, but he got his buckets.
He ain't even finish the season. He didn't even finish the season to see if he can make it. Yeah, so that's why I'm like, bro, like, and that's why I'm like, come on, man, don't sit here and try to act like this shit is real all of a sudden. If you really wanted to do, and I like Dame, but I can't condone that shit. It's like, come on, bro, you had a chance to compete, to at least get into the play-in. You telling me you couldn't go? I can't even remember who the play-in teams were this year in the West. But you telling me you couldn't go toe to toe with one of them? You couldn't beat maybe a OKC. You couldn't beat a goddamn who else? I can't even remember who they played. But you telling me you couldn't beat one of them teams?
There are some donkeys out there, man.
Yeah, but it's like you weren't even trying to compete.
Nah, not at all.
You left like I can't remember how many games they had left, but they still had a chance before he left. Granted, they would have had to win every game, but nigga, I'm not gonna stop. I'm going to play every game until they tell me, like, okay, there's no way we can make it. They still had a chance to make it to the play-in, and he
Nah,
walked.
but again, guys like Dame, they like keeping it real. They like that keeping it real because the streets love him, but he knows he's afraid of that ultimate spotlight. At least that's what I feel. I feel Dame will be saying more about himself as a competitor if he leaves and goes to a team like, I don't know, Dallas, and he pairs himself with Luka. And now all of a sudden he goes from, oh, Dame, he's a hometown boy, he keeps it real, to, oh shit, all right, Dame, let's see what you can do. Let's see what you can do in them bright lights. But I don't think he wants that. I think he likes that shit in Portland. I think he likes being that big fish in that small pond with small expectations. But that's all
Yeah,
I got.
bro.
Yeah, that's what I got on Dame, man. Look, man, I ain't biting the cheese, man. I like everybody. I ain't biting the cheese on you, Dame. I know why you doing it, man. I know why you doing it. We all been there. We all been there. You could have, yeah, you could apply for that promotion, but you don't want to apply for that promotion. That means you got to work more. You like
Yeah.
you like that cubicle you in, man. You like that cubicle. You like being able to sneak out at 3:00 because nobody's worried about you. You don't want to be the manager. The manager got to stay till 6. You like
You
leaving
want to
at
leave
3
at
o'clock,
3.
Dame.
He like leaving at 3 o'clock.
You like leaving at 3:00, Dame. You like getting all the damn vacation days. You don't want to
Oh,
work more.
man.
What shit? I gotta work more. Yeah, I
He
gotta work
said,
Memorial
hey.
Day. I gotta go to how many meetings? Nah, you don't want to go to them damn meetings. I know you, Dame. You know why I know you, Dame? Because I am you. I know you.
What the
I am you, nigga. I know it.
All right, man, but shit, then coasting over. The process ain't processing.
Shit. Man.
Philadelphia 76ers. James Harden declined to opt in to this third year.
Damn, he opted out?
He opted out. I thought he was going to opt in. He opted out. He's testing the free agent market.
Now, somebody gonna get that man money. That's the thing about James Harden. For whatever reason, come off season, teams just give him money, man. He knows how this shit work. Somebody gonna give him 4 years.
So this is my only thing that don't make sense though. So what he was saying was that I guess he felt like this ain't his words, but he felt like his game was getting hindered. He ain't feel like he got to, you know, be all of James Harden. Pretty much, he had to play second fiddle to Joel, no doubt.
Yeah.
But where is he gonna go on a championship contending team to where you're gonna get that role?
Uh,
Because
you talking about?
if we just look at the playoff teams this year, you're not gonna get it in Denver. You're not gonna get it in Memphis. You're not gonna get it in Sacramento. You're not gonna get it in Phoenix. The only way you're gonna
I
get it with
think
the
maybe that might be it.
with KD and Book, absolutely not.
I think KD and Book don't mind playing off the ball. That's what might make it work a little bit.
Devin Booker is going to get the ball more than James Harden. James Harden is going to
Yeah.
have to play that Brooklyn Nets role if he
Yeah.
goes out there.
Yeah.
He's not going to be
True.
able to play. He's not going to be able to play that aggressive style that he's talking about trying to play there. He's going to be playing that
True.
same role he played in Brooklyn. Hey, point guard, drive the ball up, get the ball where it's supposed to go. He ain't gonna be able to
Okay.
do that shit. He's talking about he's talking about trying to be more aggressive, like being the number one option. That's what it sounds like he's talking about doing. But when you
Oh,
look at the playoff teams, I mean, where he could you're not gonna do it in Golden State. You're not gonna do it with the Lakers. Where are you gonna do that?
team that I think he could do it with.
Who?
I think he could go to a place that thrives in utilizing talent, even talent towards the end of their career, and maximizing their ability. You know where this place is. Will Smith sang about it. Jimmy Butler preaches about it.
Come on, man.
The Miami Heat still need a number one scorer. As Jimmy Butler to me is one of those rare superstars. Because look, man, for the longest I denied him of it, Jimmy Butler is a superstar, but he is one of the few superstars that is not a true number one scorer. Jimmy Butler, even after all of this, I still would not want Jimmy Butler to be my number one option. I want him to be my number one player. He can be my best player, but he can't be my number one option. If you send James Harden to Miami and you say, James, you are an assassin, you are a hired gun, we will find ways that we will be able to hide you on defense, but you just need to commit to X, Y, and Z. They
But
will
see,
maximize him.
my
I
only issue with that is that I feel like that's only gonna work in the regular season. I don't feel like
I
that can. I don't feel like that can be their formula in the playoffs. And the reason why I say that is because even in this Philadelphia series, oh shit, even when he was in Houston, we've seen too many times where he's come up small as the
see
number one. As I'm saying,
that
as the number one option, him trying to be aggressive and all that, I don't feel that's going to work in the playoffs. When the playoffs come around, I do feel like you have to take a back seat to Jimmy Butler. You just have to.
see.
I
I feel like with Miami is so well coached that it won't be as big of an issue. What I would compare James Harden going to Miami to be like would be like Dwayne Wade his second stint in Miami. Dwayne Wade his second stint in Miami, they put D Wade in favorable positions all the time, and when they were serious about running their offense, D Wade was on the bench.
but
And a
but
team
that's what
that
I'm
they were
saying though.
not as good as they are, huh?
D Wade wasn't coming back trying to be a number one option. D Wade came back pretty much, just for the last ride, knowing
But
that you know what I mean.
But even then, when D Wade was their leading scorer, D Wade was still him and Goran Dragic, but Dwayne Wade for the most part was their leading scorer. They found ways that D Wade could still utilize his talents, but it did not affect the team basketball. I think even with James Harden, Miami needs James Harden as much as James Harden needs Miami. Miami does need a number one scorer. I think what Miami's doing right now is amazing. It's a great stretch, but I don't think it's sustainable to consistently ask the Gabe Vincents, the Max Struces, the Duncan Robinsons of the world to win you games. Miami's not going to be able to shoot like this consistently. They're not. They're not going to be able to shoot like this in the fourth quarter all the time. It would be great to have a guy who can get you a bucket. You know, one thing about James Harden, he can get you a bucket. If he's in a situation like being in Miami, he's not going to have to win you games as much as he had to win games in Houston or has to win games
Yeah, yeah, but
in
I'm just
Philadelphia.
going based off of what he said, as far as like he wants to go somewhere to where he can be more aggressive and be more of like going back to a number one. So everything I'm saying is based off of what he said.
Yeah. I think he
So
gets that in Miami, though. I think he does get that. I think they will encourage him to be more
I think that's
aggressive.
a regular season thing, bro. Because if you ask me personally, the two differences between James Harden and Jimmy Butler, in my opinion, James Harden kind of takes a dip in the playoffs as far as production, and I'm talking field goal percentage, everything. I just feel like he kind of falls back a little bit. Jimmy Butler has proven to us, if nothing else, in his time in Miami, he is coasting during the regular season. He don't give a damn if he averages 18 or 21 a season. He doesn't give a damn if he makes an All-Star team. But what is he averaging right now in the playoffs? He's a playoff riser, and he's done that every year he's been with Miami. So that's why I feel like the James Harden thing in
Year
Miami.
after the bubble, he was bullshitting that year after the bubble.
Which year?
2021, he was bullshitting.
Oh, that was that year they. Oh, they that the year that they. That's the when the Bucks played him in the first round. Yeah.
He was bullshitting. He got his ass whooped. But no, even
Okay.
then, I agree. I agree
Okay.
with
So
you.
I'll give you one. Okay. So you could check me on that one year. But besides that, man, like I've been
Oh,
saying
he's
this.
been phenomenal.
He's been, bro. There's nothing bad you can say about him. If you want to argue that year, fine. I ain't even gonna argue on. But 3 out of the 4 years, come on now. We've
Oh yeah,
constantly
no,
been talking about Jack.
I'm not discrediting Jimmy Butler's performance in Miami at all. He's been worth
Okay, put it like
every
this: if
single
I
penny.
need if I need a bucket, like just need a bucket if they were both together, I would rather have the ball in Jimmy Butler's hands. That's just my personal opinion.
Now look. look. I love Jimmy Butler's game. I mean, I love Jimmy Butler, but watching him on that offensive end, it's not pretty. It is
It doesn't
not
need to be.
pretty.
It works. It
And not
works.
all the time though. We saw that in that Buck series. Jimmy Butler's just from a mechanic standpoint, it's a tough watch. It is. You feel like a lot of times some of that shit. I hate to use this word, especially with NBA players. It seems like sometimes he just gets lucky. He gets a little lucky. Now with James Harden, you know you're getting he is an assassin. He's an assassin. He is a hired gun. Jimmy Butler, yes, would still be their best player, but James Harden would be their best offensive player. I think if you pair him with if James Harden is there in Miami, yes, there's a lot of distractions. He's over there in South Beach, but he's in the best ran organization in the NBA. For the first time in his career, James Harden will be in a structured environment. For the first, a well-coached, structured environment. He has never seen that shit before. That's why it's hard for me to completely put, James Harden's not a winner, yada, yada, yada. I mean, shit, you play with, what's his name? Phoenix's old head coach. Motherfucker can't coach. Goddamn, what's his name? Steve Nash's old coach.
Monty Williams.
No, not Monty Williams.
No. You talking about who he's playing with in Brooklyn? Or who?
Steve,
Mike D'Antoni.
Mike D'Antoni, who can't coach, not worth a damn.
Yeah,
then
he
you
don't
got
coach
Doc
defense,
Rivers, an
bro.
arm folder. Mike D'Antoni, an arm folder. Doc Rivers, an arm folder. He's finally going to be in a structured environment. And then Brooklyn, dumpster fire. That is a dumpster fire. I do not discredit any player that played for that Brooklyn Nets team. They were on recess. It was recess. That's what it looked like when they were playing out there. It looked like recess. Steve Nash had no idea what he was doing. He's an arm folder as well. And all three of those coaches that he was playing with, where are they coaching at right now? Where's Steve Nash coaching at? Where? Please tell me the team.
All right, man. We're gonna agree.
Where's Doc Rivers coaching at right now? Please tell me the team.
But I
Where's Mike D'Antoni coaching at?
You
know
put
what?
a little bit too much sauce on your spoon, man. I don't know.
Dwight Howard is probably recruiting them right now. Doc Rivers, come on, Doc.
You see all these Chinese ladies I got around me, all these tall, that nigga doing commercials in Taiwan. She's hard in the mouth,
Yeah. Dwight Howard recruiting all of his former coaches. So if you bring James Harden, I just think he's in a more structured environment.
Dwight Howard recruiting, donkeys. That nigga recruiting everybody.
Yeah, but we got completely off track. Joel Embiid, he'll be all right, man. They just got to get some real coaching out there. Doc Rivers ain't a coach; he's an arm folder.
Yeah, then my thing is, I'm like, man, because I'm like, damn, Joel Embiid really got to be there for at least the next 2 years because that contract is just kicking in.
But it's not a bad place to be. I think Philly.
It's not. It's just more or less. How long are you gonna keep? I mean, it's just been a long process that ain't processing. It's just when you as a player, like I said, it's just I feel like he's probably gonna give this 2 years. If they don't get that coaching shit in order and actually get him another player, another dog next to him, I think he's gonna walk.
Oh, for sure. And people can try to put it on Joel Embiid, but when we think about this process and all these picks that they got, the only one that hit was Embiid and Maxey. But Maxey wasn't even part of all that the collections of picks.
He wasn't part of that original.
So I mean, you think about it. They drafted Bridges and traded his ass for Zaire Smith. Hey, LC alumni, love you, Zaire. But Zaire only played a couple games in the NBA, was sick, and we haven't seen him since. They drafted Michael Carter Williams, who they traded after a year. They drafted Jahlil Okafor, who never panned out. And they missed on so many players. And then they drafted Markelle Fultz over Jason Tatum.
Again, there you go. That's front office. How long are you? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. You everything you just named off. That is front office moves.
Yeah,
And that
Yeah,
ain't, you know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm looking at, like and how much longer? He's 29.
yeah,
He can't,
yeah,
and he's already got these constant lower body injuries. How much longer we think we're gonna see him at this MVP level? Another
yeah,
2, maybe 3 years. He's got to get the most out of his body that he can right now.
yeah,
And if they're not gonna, make the proper moves, again, James Harden has opted out. So now you've lost somebody for nothing. You can't trade him and get any picks. So where do you go from here?
I think they're probably going to be a player for Kyrie Irving. I think they might end up trying to make a bid on him. I feel like if they lose that sweepstakes, they might just say, you know what, let's just focus on Maxey. Maxey will be our lead guard, and then get Shake Milton back in that rotation. But to me, I think Philly will be a better team next year because of addition by subtraction. Doc
Hmm.
Rivers, Doc Rivers is not an NBA coach. He fed off of that one title his entire career. And I think it's just time that they bring in somebody that's actually going to be able to make adjustments and get the most out of that roster. It made no sense to me about all the DMPs that they were collecting, that some of these players were collecting. Philly has one of the most talented rosters in the NBA. And you have got a guy like Shake Milton, who's barely in the rotation because you don't know how to use him. I mean, it's just, to me, they just need to get a coach out there that's going to maximize the talent on that roster. And, if they can't do it in the next 2 years, then, oh, yeah, they're going to have to say bye to the process.
Man, it's already over. It's over, man.
Yeah,
It's
it ain't
done.
buffering no more.
Nah,
It ain't
man,
buffering no
that
more.
it ain't, bro. It can't buffer no more. It can't
Nah,
buffer no
man.
more. But all right, man. Time to close it out with a little ball, with a little football. So we done did the AFC South rankings. We done did the NFC South. I finally got one you might actually enjoy.
Ooh.
We got the AFC East, man. For y'all that don't
Ooh.
know, Patriots, Dolphins, Bills, and the Jets. Of course, the Jets with the big move, getting Aaron Rodgers. Bills still got their quarterback and Josh Allen. Dolphins, of course, bringing back Tua. Patriots still continuing the Mac Jones experiment. I guess let's start there. The New England Patriots. Where do you see them going this year?
I can show you right now, man. How do I flip this goddamn camera? I'm trying to flip this camera.
Hold
Is there a
on,
feat?
man.
Is there a feature where I can flip this camera?
Yeah, you
God,
should be able to, but if not, man, hey, what?
let,
Just
let,
turn the
let me.
phone. Where you trying to?
Yeah. Can you see the bottom over there? Are y'all able to see? Are y'all able to see? Y'all able to see down there, man? I don't know how
Bottom
to
of the
work this
barrel.
phone. Them boys gonna be right there outside this goddamn roof, boy. Them boys gonna
God.
jump like that boy on Lean on Me. They're gonna have to jump. Jump, boy. Jump, boy. You say you're gonna start Mac Jones. Jump.
Oh
You said you
shit.
started Mac Jones as a quarterback. Jump, boy. Yeah, man. Nah, them Patriots, man, to me, them motherfuckers gonna finish last place. I think this is a product of a bunch of folks and a bunch of coaches thinking they're smarter than what the hell they are. That's
Yeah.
all this shit is. They're a bunch of snooties that feel like they are smarter than everybody else. You thought that you were going to win games with Mac Jones? Are you fucking kidding me? You
He
drafted this
got
guy
through.
in the first round?
He got through that first year and got to the playoffs, and everybody thought, "Oh, you
Ah,
did it right,
and
man." No.
even then, he was mediocre. He got a lot of credit for being mediocre. When he made the NFL top 100 players, man, I almost shitted on my goddamn pants. He made what he had 20 touchdowns and like 14 interceptions, and he made the top 20. Top 100 players in the league. Mac Jones is not a starting quarterback in this league. He's not a starting quarterback in this league. He's barely a rostered quarterback in this league.
Yeah.
So they will emphatically finish in last place. I see them winning
I
six
mean,
games this year.
again, I'm not trying to protect him or anything like that. But again, where you said some of these coaches kind of get a lot, you try to act like they smarter than what they are. I'm not trying to beat the table for Mac Jones in no way, shape, form, or fashion when I say this. But when you have Bill Belichick bringing in these jackasses, these donkeys, trying to be an offensive coordinator when they have never coached offense a day in their life, I just want to know what quarterback do you expect to be successful in that? I feel like any quarterback that would have got drafted there, no matter who they were, could have been could have been top prospect. I do not feel like they were going to be anywhere near advantageous in that system, bro. Because again, like you said, I just feel like that Bill Belichick, he's been doing this for how long? He's
Too
been
damn
doing this
long.
too damn long. And of course, when you look at the resume and everything that he's accomplished, you got people that look at him in a certain light, and in some ways, deservingly so. But we're not gonna act like that he wasn't. Yeah, he was maybe talking to Tom about the offense, but that wasn't him. He had somebody in place with that. And Josh
Yeah.
McDaniels and who was the old boy that just came back into the
Bill
league?
O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien were the best two people he had were the
Yeah.
best two people because we saw what his offenses looked like with them. And we clearly see Mac Jones had Josh McDaniels in the first year of his career, got to the playoffs. He knew how to use him. But then you go and I don't even know who he got. He got the old head coach from the Giants that got
Was it
let go.
Matt Patricia?
And he got who was it? Brian? Not Brian. I can't remember the name of that other donkey he had. But
Joe Judge? No.
Joe
Joe.
Judge, Joe Judge and Matt Patricia. You have two coaches that have never had offensive coordinator even linked to their name. Joe Judge taught special teams. Matt Patricia, Matt
Hey, no,
Patricia,
that was
Matt
smart.
Patricia. He
Hey, that's
he
perfect.
coaches defense.
Hold on, Chris. That's perfect. He coached special teams. All the Patriots do anyway is punt. So he's an expert, man. He's an
Hey man,
expert. They
bro,
hired somebody that was going to be able to fit their offense.
they hired somebody that knew they was gonna be punting the goddamn ball.
Yeah.
So and got Matt Patricia, who shouldn't have got that Detroit job in the first place, got fired a year too late, and you want these two niggas to go teach this man offense? Come on, bro. Again,
Look,
I'm not beating the table for Mac Jones and just saying, oh, he's just all this. I think he's a decent quarterback,
nah,
but
he
I just
ain't
feel
that.
like, nah, bro. I just feel like you have to look at coaches sometimes. I do not feel like that he's gonna he after Josh McDaniels left, it was game over. He was never gonna even see anywhere close to the success he saw that first year. And for
And to me, with Mac Jones,
I mean, so
where
honestly, so before you say honestly, did you see them making the playoffs with Mac Jones when they drafted him?
no,
Did
no,
you? And again, so you watch ball. We all clearly saw the drop off from year one to year two. Again, I'm not finna beat my table for Josh McDaniels. He is a trash head coach. But I do believe he's a hell of an offensive coordinator. And Mac Jones clearly suffered. He suffered.
he did. But one thing I will say, and you could tell with Bill Belichick, I don't think Mac Jones is the hardest worker in the room. I don't think
Nah,
Mac Jones
man.
is the type of guy who's going overtime trying to get better. I mean, when
Nah,
people think about the Patriots, they think, oh, once pail workers, yada, yada, yada.
nah,
But Mac Jones got some shit bird
nah.
in him. He
Bill
does have some
Belichick,
dick in him.
but Bill Belichick got Mac Jones was going outside of the facility, like getting coaching. And Bill Belichick got because he's got again Matt Patricia and Joe Judge trying to teach him offense. He went back to some of his college coaches trying to ask him, "Hey, what should I look at here?" A lot of people in the NFL like, yeah, they may text their coach every now and then, but he was literally talking to them like it was like they were somebody in the goddamn Patriots, goddamn me coaching staff
No,
because they,
I feel
you know
that.
what I'm
But
saying?
one thing I will say, when his ass got benched and they put in Bailey Zappi out there, Zappi had some moments. I think what kills Mac Jones so much is the fact that he's solely dependent on the play calls. He can't extend plays. Mac Jones, for a quarterback like Mac Jones, you have to make sure everything's in line. Mac Jones does not give you any flexibility as a play caller. So it hurts when you're already a sorry ass play caller and you got a quarterback who's not creative. You know what I mean?
Again, but you
I
just
feel like
said
if
it.
they
You a sorry ass play caller. You just said it.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
he's sorry. They're all sorry. But
yeah.
at least if you put a quarterback that could create a little bit, like
Hmm.
say Anthony Richardson is there. I think Anthony Richardson would have more success with those same play callers than Mac Jones would, because at some point Anthony Richardson would be like, all right, man, these motherfuckers don't know what they're doing. Let me tuck this bitch and let me just run it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? At least now you got more guys in the box and you're gonna have more easy passes to create because you can't have as many guys playing the pass. But with Mac Jones, he's so limited as a runner. He's not a threat as a runner. You can have more guys in the pass than actually having to defend the run. And it didn't help that the running game was so anemic too after Ramondre Stevenson got hurt.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, I feel you on that. But free my nigga Mac Jones, man. Get him out that goddamn
man,
shelter to fire.
free his ass so
Don't
he can
nobody
go
want to
play
play.
for
Don't nobody want to play for that goddamn organization no more,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, Mac Jones. I'm telling you, man, the Calgary Stampeders got a spot for you. Don't worry about it. You will be there in a year or two. Maybe the
All
Shanghai
right,
Sharks can make a
man.
football team. Shanghai Sharks have a football team for you. All right, man. Shit, who the next team we got? What we got?
Dolphins, them Florida boys.
All right, man. With the Dolphins, man, I think they got so much talent that it's going to be hard to see them winning any less than maybe 8 or 9 games. But I see them finishing second in the division with a 10-7 record. I see them finish second with a 10-7 record. I think they're going to be right there on the cups of borderline bubble playoff team. I think they're going to be a lot similar to what they were last year. Yeah, I feel like that is about where they are. I don't see Tua playing every game. I
I was
see him
just about
missing
to
a
tell
lot of
you.
action.
You see, because you think that's because you think Tua gonna miss more games this year.
Oh yeah, 100%. Tua will not play every game. Tua will not play every game, and that's what's going to hurt them more than anything. Who they get as their backup quarterback? Who they bring in?
Shit, I don't know.
Let me look that up. But
Oh shit, I'll look it up just so it don't mess up your stream thing. Let's see, who did they pick up?
Mike White from the Jets,
Oh, that's what
hometown
they
kid.
brought in.
Hometown kid. And Mike White played well for the Jets. I think he's kind of a quarterback the Dolphins need. He's mobile. He can extend plays, but I mean, he's not a winner. Skylar Thompson, he played good for stretch for the Dolphins. He almost won him a playoff game, but again, he doesn't really have playoff experience, and he's also not a winner. And then you got Tua, who I think when Tua is healthy, Tua's a plus starter in the NFL. He's a plus starter. He's not a game manager. He's a plus starter. Like, he's a good starting quarterback, but I just don't feel like he's going to be healthy enough for them to win more than 10 games. So that's kind of where I put the Dolphins. And then also I think they're going to struggle some on defense. I mean, they keep rolling out some of these same guys, that front seven. They're not great at stopping the run. And I just think, I think the Dolphins right now are probably about a 10-win team.
Yeah, I mean, so I agree with you on the Patriots take. The Dolphins, first off, let me see what this schedule looking like before I go any further. Let's see. Ooh, they got some. Oh shit. Okay, so looks like let's see. The Miami Dolphins have the NFC South on their schedule. They have the AFC West on their schedule, and then they have to play the Giants. They have to play. Oh, they got the NFC East. I'm sorry. They have the
Yeah.
NFC East, and they have the AFC South. So then
Okay.
they have yeah, I'm sorry, I was looking at preseason. So they have the NFC East, and they have. Oh shit, I'm
Whew.
still looking at preseason, or am I not? Okay,
Here.
okay, I got it. They got the NFC East and the AFC South, and then
Oh, Chargers. They
I'm
got
sorry, the AFC
Denver.
West. How many? What are these teams I'm looking at? Okay, they got the
They got the
AFC, yeah,
NFC East.
and
They
the
got the
AFC
NFC
West.
West.
Then they got Tennessee. They have they got
Baltimore.
Dallas, and they got Baltimore. Okay,
Oh yeah,
that's
nah,
okay. That's okay, okay, okay.
that's a brutal schedule. That's a brutal
Yeah,
schedule.
so 10-7. So let's see. I could say they split all of their division games. So there goes three losses right there. I think they lose to the Chiefs. Obvious. I think they lose that game to the Chiefs. I think they lose. I think they're going to lose to Baltimore. I don't think they're going to dog walk Baltimore. I don't think they're going to come back on Baltimore the way they did last year. So there's
Nah,
your five, and
and they're
then of
playing them late
course,
in the season. Two is probably gonna be injured by then.
yeah, and then let's see the next two games. I feel like the other two. Um, I don't see the
That's a tough
Giants
schedule.
beating them. Philly, maybe. I'll give you
Oh,
Philly.
Philly will dog up. Philly can run the ball. That's what
I'll give
Miami
you because
struggles
they can.
with.
So I'll probably give you Philly, and the last, the last loss is probably going to be one of those shockers. So I'll say that is going to happen against Washington.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
It's a late in the season game. They're on the road. I could
Two is
see
probably
what
hurt.
I can see Washington probably coming out with that game.
Yeah,
So 10-7, I could see it. Uh, whew, I don't know, man. I feel like I don't know. I mean, because then they picked up Chubb last year, right?
yeah. They
I don't
Miami
really feel
loaded
like
up on a
I
lot
don't
of
feel
big
like that
money
was a
guys.
necessary move.
It was
I really
not.
don't feel like I feel like they were really reaching. I feel like they had enough. I mean, if you want to go get something, get an offensive lineman that could keep your little, Lego quarterback off the goddamn turf.
Get a running back
But
or offensive lineman. Derrick
but
Henry
I
is right
just
there for you.
yeah, because Tennessee's not going anywhere. I mean, they're clearly in the rebuilding stage. I know they've been picking up the phone for him. So if you were going to get somebody last season, and especially for the low, considering that I feel like everybody knows that it ain't necessarily Tennessee that wants to get rid of him. Derrick Henry wants to get the fuck out of there. We all
Yeah,
saw that when they got rid of AJ Brown, they were clearly rebuilding. Derrick
yeah,
Henry is not going to be able to carry you to the playoffs. He's not going to be able to
yeah.
run you to. I don't care how many 1,000 or 1,500 yard seasons he has. That's not going to equal the playoffs for you. You got rid
And
of a
Derrick
receiver
Henry
just
know.
because he wasn't getting you 1,000 yards, but he was complementary to what you based your defense off of. You were
Yeah,
a run first team. You literally had teams loading the box to deal with one man, and AJ Brown was pretty much having his way with these DBs.
yeah.
So that's kind of how. So I do feel like the Dolphins dropped the ball. I don't feel like Chubb was necessary. I just feel like they were really reaching. I mean, when you
And
got
Chubb
those
did
two
nothing
guys,
while he was in Miami.
he
He
didn't.
did nothing last year.
Yeah. So I really feel like Denver just really fleeced y'all for some picks y'all
Yeah,
already didn't have. Really have to lose already with all the scandals y'all had going on. So I could see 10-7.
yeah.
I could see 10-7. But what's kind of crazy, and this may be close now that we get to the next team, we get to the Jets. I kind of see 10-7, 11-6.
For the Jets.
Yep, yep. Say what you want.
So what place you got them finishing?
I feel like they'll be battling for second or third, but I won't be surprised if Buffalo falls. And the only reason why I say that is that just me personally, I just want to see, and I know I'm kind of jumping the gun. I just kind of want to see if Josh Allen is going to play better after kind of, I mean, it was a down year when you look at his turnovers. He had a bad year in that aspect. So I kind of want to see what that's going to look like, especially seeing as how, we see what divisions they have to play now. They got to play the East and they got to play the AFC West. You're not finna, this ain't finna be a walk in the park. You know what I'm saying? You're about to go
Yeah.
up against some real defenses with some real DBs. It's not finna be a cakewalk. So I guess that's just kind of where I'm at. But to just stick on the Jets, again, I feel like they could split every game they have. So if I'm saying they're only going to lose 6, the only 3 that I could maybe see them losing, I feel like they could definitely lose to the Jets. I mean, I'm sorry, we talking about the Jets. They could definitely lose to the Eagles. Um, who else do they have on here? Oh, that's everybody right there. So I definitely feel like they can lose to the Eagles. So that's 4 right there. I feel like I feel like that maybe just I feel like that the Broncos might get them.
I think they're going to be a much improved team, the Denver Broncos. They're going to be
I'm
all
not
right with
looking at
my
the I'm looking more or less of that's going to be a defensive game. I'm not looking more or less at the
yeah.
offense. That's going to be
Oh,
more
they're
of a
going to be good
defensive
offense
game.
with Mr. Unlimited. You're going to get them right.
Nah,
You're going to get
man,
them right.
we saw what that shit was last year, bro. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Sean Payton, but it's like, nigga, you got some work to do. That's all I
and,
can say. I mean, you
and
couldn't
you've
have
been
got a
out the
better
game for a
coach.
second,
You,
man.
I mean, he wasn't out that long, but I mean, it's if I'm gonna trust anybody that might be able to get that shit right, it's gonna be him, just because
It'll
he's
be
worked with a
Jesus
small.
Christ.
He worked with a small quarterback all his life. So if he can't get him right, I don't think nobody can. You know what I'm saying? So that's why
Oh,
I
Russ
feel
will be
like,
better next year. Russ will be a lot better next year.
whoa,
I think
breaking news,
he's at least
everybody.
going to be certain. He's going to be a
Andre
tour
just
level
said something
quarterback.
nice about Russell Wilson. Breaking news.
Oh, look, too. I mean, Russell Wilson's just been highly overrated his entire career. He's not bad. I think he's an 82 overall guy who gets 97 overall treatment. You know what I mean? That's all that
I don't know
is.
about 97.
Oh, they talk about him like he's a great. Russell Wilson plays. Russell Wilson's at his best when he has an elite defense, an elite running game, some very good receivers, and only got to throw the ball 25 times. That's when he's at his best. I got time for Russ. Well, Russ is a plus starter at best. Plus starter means you about 82 overall. He's in the same category as like Tua, Derek Carr, Ryan Tannehill. That's where you put Russ. But they want to put him with the Tom Brady's and the Aaron Rodgers and the Lamars and the Burrows. He ain't up there with them guys. Hey, let him be where he needs to be. He ain't at the kiddie table, but he ain't at the grown folks table either. He's
Right.
somewhere in between. He's somewhere in between. But nah, so for me, when it comes to the Jets, I think the Jets,
I feel like
they will be.
the Jets and the Dolphins might can swap 2 and 3. I can see that one going either way.
Nah, I think the one thing that the Dolphins have that the Jets don't, and the Jets don't have it, but the Dolphins and the Bills both have it, is a little bit of consistency. You know what I mean? They don't have a new head coach coming in. They don't have a new quarterback coming in. They're consistent. The Jets are bringing in a new quarterback. They changed up their receivers. You have these young players that all of a sudden have Super Bowl expectations. I think it's going to be a lot to ask out of these guys that literally were just trying to make the playoffs last year. So you're going from our expectation is we're trying to make the playoffs to now you're telling these 23, 24-year-old players, hey, we're trying to win a Super Bowl right now because we got this old ass fucking quarterback who may only have 1 or 2 more good years left in him. I just see them taking a dip. I don't think it's going to be, like how bad the Denver Broncos shit was last year, but I definitely see them taking a dip. Aaron Rodgers is going to a situation now where his head coach is a defensive-minded guy. When the plus Aaron Rodgers always had whenever he was over there in Green Bay, he was always surrounded around offensive minds. His head coaches were always offensive-minded. But now he's going to be he's going to have the most experience offensively out of everybody in that staff. Aaron Rodgers will, and I just don't. I think it's going to be too much for him to carry this early on. I see them winning, 8 to 9 games.
I don't know. You think he can
Yeah.
only get them at least one more win?
No, no. I think they're going to struggle. I think they're struggle, and especially early on. I don't see it going as well as they think. And also, you got to remember one of the best things that he had going for him the last 15 years is he got to play against the Chicago Bears twice a year. You got to play against the Detroit Lions twice a year. You got to play against the Minnesota Vikings, who you've sunned, twice a year basically. Now you're going against the Dolphins. You're going against, the Patriots still at times they're going to be competitive, and you're
Yeah,
going against a very motivated Buffalo Bills team, which we're going to talk about here in a second. There's no cakewalks here in this division. And
yeah.
then you also got, tough non-divisional games. And to do that in a new city, you have not played in a different uniform in 15, 16 years. To do that in a new city, I think is just going to be a lot. And then, of course, those young players, now you have these huge expectations. I don't see them taking a huge dip down, but I don't see them getting better because of this.
Okay, we can agree to disagree on that one.
Oh yeah, that's the only thing that we can do right there, man. Because I'm not drinking that fucking Kool
I mean,
Aid.
like I said, I mean, like I said, I don't think my expectations of them being able to win at least 3 to 4 more games is crazy. That's all I'm saying. I don't think it's crazy.
I think they had the same schedule they had last year, maybe, but you're talking about a harder schedule with a new quarterback and a lot of new faces. I don't
No,
see it
I
happening.
feel you, but like I said, I mean, I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's
And
crazy.
and and one thing, and maybe I'm a hater because I wanted Chris Streveler to have that damn job.
Who?
Chris Streveler is a CFL legend, Calgary Stampeder, stand up. Chris Streveler should be the starting quarterback for the New York Football Jets. They hold that man. Go look up Chris Streveler if you don't know who he is. He's a CFL legend, man. But that's all I got on
Nigga,
that.
yeah, shit, you know damn well. You better text me that nigga name. Oh, I ain't never heard of that
He
nigga
a
in a day of
Madden
my
legend
life.
too. He led my franchise team to 2 Super Bowls on Madden. I wasn't going to use any picks on a quarterback. I saw him in the free agency wire. He had like 89 in speed. I said, man, let's go ahead and let's suit this guy up. Gave him a visor, an arm sleeve, and that man led us to 2 Super Bowls, man. So Chris Streveler, man, I see you. I see you,
Shit, you
Chris.
said give a nigga a visor and an arm sleeve, nigga. Put some swag on him. Put
And
some
he was ready.
swag
Hey, he
on
was
him.
ready. He was ready to go. 63 overall, man. That's all he needed, man. He was balling, man. But shit, let's go and let's talk about them Buffalo Wings, them Buffalo
So we
Wing
got to
Bills.
lead. Of course, we got to lead with who won the division last year. They the ones that got the target on their back. The Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and them boys, man.
Buffalo Wing Bills, man. Buffalo Wing Bills. You going first or am I going?
You can take it.
Man, all right. So the Buffalo Wing Bills, man, I see them motivated this year. I think one thing about last year is, let's be real, man. The Dolphins are the Dolphins. Just as as nice as they wore last year, they're a nice little surprise. Yeah, the Bills ain't waking up to play against the Dolphins. Ain't nobody waking up to play against Mac Jones. Ain't nobody waking up to play against a team that's led by Zach Wilson. The Bills just got to, it was a cakewalk for them. They weren't motivated last year. I felt like after a very, very, dramatic and heartbreaking playoff loss to the Chiefs that year prior, that they lost in overtime. It was just hard to wake them back up. But now think about all the bulletin board material they got for this team. Oh, everybody's talking about the Dolphins. Oh, everybody's talking about the Jets. Oh, everybody's talking about how we got our asses smacked in the playoffs. They got a lot more to be motivated for this year than they have in years past. And I think Josh Allen's hearing all the shit. And Josh Allen wants to prove himself. Josh Allen's like, nah, man, y'all ain't gonna forget about me. I can ball. I got this big ass arm for a reason. I'm gonna sling that bitch. I think Josh Allen's gonna play some of his better football. I think last year was really more about him and that new offensive coordinator just understanding each other. I think year 2 is going to be a lot better for him in this system than year 1 was. So I see the Bills winning 13 games. I see them going 13-4, and I see Josh Allen. I think he's going to make some noise for that MVP. For me right now, my MVP front runner is going to be Lamar Jackson, just because we haven't seen him in like 2 years. So, the voters, he's going to feel like a fresh face. But I think Josh Allen and Trevor Lawrence are two guys that I think are going to be in that top 5 MVP vote category.
Um, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't really too high on the Bills. I get what you're saying as far as needing to get, I guess, chemistry going with your offensive coordinator, but I feel like the issue that I have is that everybody was like, oh, like pretty much last year, because the one man that was pretty much keeping him from getting to the promised land was who? Patrick Mahomes. So then last year they get Joe Burrow and they get the Cincinnati Bengals and they looked bad. They looked bad.
Pistol whipped them for 40 minutes straight.
They looked bad. So me personally, did I see any moves outside of them going to get a tight end in the first round to make me think that they're gonna just? I mean, because from what I'm hearing, like you're looking at it as like mentally they're gonna be in a different headspace, which I understand. That's a big chunk of it. But when I just look at, okay, you could say they didn't get up for Miami in that playoff game, but Miami damn near could have got them boys.
Yeah, because I mean Buffalo, come on, they're like, hey man, who the hell's
I
starting over there?
feel, I feel
The
you, but
fuck?
I, I can't. I don't like using that excuse when it comes to playoff time, man. Especially in football. It's like, okay, if you talking basketball, like, okay, you look at the Philly and the goddamn me Brooklyn series, you think they got up for that? No. But this is NFL, man. You literally got to, especially if you ain't got a first round bye, you got to get up for 4 games. Just 4. I can't really too much use that as you like use that you ain't getting up for them shit when it comes to the regular season. Playoff time, I just need you to get it for 4 games. And they didn't look that impressive to me in that Miami game. Like that should have been one like, hey, show up, get them boys out of there. Hey, starters, come over here and sit by me halfway through the third quarter. We don't need you anymore. You know what I mean? That's kind of
Well,
why I'm not
as,
really.
as
Go ahead.
somebody who watched Miami football closely the last few years, I will say
Right.
this: Skylar Thompson is not. I mean, the players on Miami, they believe in Skylar Thompson. Like they believe in him. Like so, Miami players were probably really motivated that they could sneak one and get a win. You know, from day one when Skylar Thompson came in, they're like, "Hey man, like this motherfucker slaying that bitch." Like
But see,
Skylar Thompson has that
yeah,
gunslinger mentality, and he's. I mean, he has nuts. I guess that's the only way I can really put it. Skylar Thompson got some big nuts. Like he was
yeah.
not going to be afraid of that moment. So
And I feel
with the
you on that.
Bills,
But as far as when if I'm Buffalo and I know I got all my top dogs here, it's like, hey man, yes, Skylar Thompson can be all this and that and that and that. And I understand Vaughn was hurt, but come on, man, Vaughn don't play offense.
now Von Miller can fucking play, dog, man. We
No,
it's
he
like,
can play,
it's like
but Von Miller
Von
ain't putting
Miller, a
no
ball
points on the
player,
board.
man.
No, no, no. He can play, but Von Miller is not putting no points on the board. So I'm not trying to say that no, he don't matter. I will never say that. We know who Von Miller is, but at the end of the day, we got to start putting this shit in the context. Von Miller ain't catching the ball running down the field. Von Miller ain't goddamn me throwing that bitch. He's
Yeah.
stopping the other mother. So at the end of the day, the only way that Von Miller is going to affect the score of the game is if he catches a pick, a scoop, and score and gets into the end zone. So it's not that I'm expecting that of him. At the end of the day, Josh Allen, that offense still got to go ahead and get them boys out of there.
No,
It's
I
like
agree with you.
it's one of the things like, okay, man, like I like again, I look at that shit like just how you said, bulletin board. All we need is 4. All I need is 4.
I feel
So
you. I think with
and me
Buffalo,
personally, bro, and if he has to see Cincinnati or Kansas City in the playoffs, bro, I don't think I think his best chance to get past Kansas City was when they was in that AFC Championship game and they had that controversy over the overtime rules. I feel like that was his best chance. After that, I mean, I just don't. I mean, I don't see it, bro. I don't see it. Like I
well,
just the fire I saw in that first game I have not seen that from them since.
well,
And
I think we got to think about it as it's a different team now. We can't look at that Buffalo team is last year compared to the team this year. Because I think they made some huge moves. I love the signing of Damian Harris. I love that James Cook is going to be the lead back this year. I love that they upgraded that tight end position because Dawson Knox had a whole bunch of key drops. He had
Yeah.
huge key drops for him in those playoff games. So I think they made a lot of moves. And also you got to think with the offensive coordinator, now he's slowly able to kind of build this team into a way that, fits his style of play. I think Damian Harris is a very good first and second down back who's going to complement James Cook, who's more of a scat back. And I think their running game is going to be a lot more dynamic this year than it was last year with Devin Singletary. I mean, again, Devin Singletary is like oatmeal. He's like oatmeal. Nobody's excited about oatmeal. Nobody's excited about oatmeal. So they had oatmeal in the backfield, but I think now, they're gonna have a little bit more explosiveness. They're
Say,
gonna
bro,
be a
you
little bit more
disrespectful,
dynamic.
man. You
That
disrespectful, my
motherfucker like
nigga.
graham crackers and oatmeal. Nobody's excited about graham crackers. Nobody's
This
excited about
nigga
oatmeal.
said
We want
this
fucking
nigga is
James
like
Cook. You
oatmeal,
tell
nigga.
me
Ain't
one
nobody.
person who's
Hey, nigga,
starting
which one you
Singletary
want?
on Madden.
Maple and brown sugar, goddamn
Yeah,
strawberries and cream.
nah, man.
Hey,
We
come on,
want
man.
Pop Tarts, nigga. We don't want oatmeal for breakfast. Nigga, we want Fruit Loops. I want Fruity Pebbles, man. I don't want no goddamn oatmeal. That's what Devin Singletary is. He is fucking oatmeal, man. I don't want that shit, nigga. I want some Pop Tarts. I want toaster strudels. Come on, man. Get
Oh
that
my
shit on,
god.
man. Take your ass on. I don't even know who signed this donkey ass, man. Nobody starts you on Madden, man. You got 80 something in speed. Get on, man. But nah, I
Oh
think
my
I think they're
god.
gonna be more explosive in the running game. I like what they did, taking a tight end in the first round. And Josh Allen, I mean, dude, he's gonna be playing more motivated, man. He's tired of that shit, man. Josh Allen he ain't with that, man. You ain't gonna talk. You ain't gonna throw dirt on Josh Allen's name. Are you serious? Nah, man. He baby Cutler, man. He's baby Jay Cutler, man. He already know, man.
Andre,
He here to slang that shit.
I'm gonna be honest with you right now. I'm looking at this schedule.
Don't look at the
Uh,
schedule, man. Look at the talent. Look at the roster.
I don't think they
Tre'Davious
finished it.
White,
I don't think
Von
they.
Miller,
I don't think they
Jordan
finished.
Poyer, Stephon Diggs.
I don't think they gonna fin. Nigga, they might be battling for second.
Nah, they I see them losing 4 to 5 games. They are
4 to 5.
going to play with their
So you're
with their
saying
heads
so?
on
Okay, so do you feel like okay? So since so I feel like you didn't disagree with me with the other three teams as far as splitting. Do you feel like the Bills are going to split their divisional games, or do you
honestly, I think the Bills lose one game.
one? Okay, so that's
I think they're
one.
gonna lose one game.
Okay, so you think they're gonna lose one game? So let's just look
I,
outside the division. You don't feel? I don't think you feel they're gonna lose to anybody in the NFC East, correct?
the NFC, do they play the Eagles?
They got the Eagles.
Yeah, I think they might lose that one.
Okay, so that's two losses right there. Okay, so Jags.
That's gonna be a good game. That might be one of the four.
Okay,
Might.
so let's just call that three. Bengals.
Nah, I see them. I think they'll beat the Bengals.
All right, so you still at three. Chiefs.
I think that'll be a shootout, but I can see them beating the Chiefs too. I think every game,
So you feel
there's
like a
not a
bunch of them gonna be
definite
close
loss.
competitive game? Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, I don't
So how
see
many
a
games you say?
definite loss.
4 to 5.
Yeah, they'll lose. They'll lose 4 to 5 games. That's it.
So it works. So 12-5 at the worst. Okay.
Yeah, because they're going to run through that division because of consistency. That they're going to run through that division. I don't see. I, again, I see maybe the Dolphins sneaking up and getting them. The Dolphins have kind of, you know, out of that division, the Dolphins kind of been the one that's been a thorn on their side the most. They beat them in the
Yeah.
regular season, and then they competed with them in the playoffs. I see the Dolphins maybe getting one of those two games against them. But outside of that, man, they're gonna pistol whip the Patriots, and I think they're gonna come after Aaron Rodgers. They're gonna try to slap that man.
Let's see, because it looked like they Oh, okay. Well, shit, that game in Buffalo, so it don't really matter because they actually catch the Patriots early in October in New England, so
Actually,
that
it could
weather's
be in
not.
New
Yeah,
England.
that
It could
weather's
be
not
in
gonna
New
be
York.
terrible. No, I was gonna say that weather's not gonna be terrible, so they're gonna win that game. But then,
Oh, they're gonna kill
yeah,
them.
it's really gonna come down to the weather for that game, if you ask me.
It could be raining, snowing. It could be in the middle of a hurricane. Buffalo
Well,
about
no,
to kill
I
them.
mean, it just really like to me personally, if Buffalo has their run game better, because again, that's something that they really hadn't been like emphasizing, in my opinion, the past couple of
They
years.
got Damian Harris. They got James Cook now. They've
They better
upgraded.
use them. They better use them. That's all I'm saying. They better use them
Yeah.
because I feel like they could have went off with Cook last year, but they kept wanting to go to whatever his
To
name.
to oatmeal. To
Yeah,
oatmeal. Graham
cream of wheat.
crackers.
Cream of wheat.
Yeah, cream of wheat. Yeah, there you go. Boring ass back, man. I swear to God, nobody want to start you on Madden, dog. Come on,
Yeah,
man. Get your
man.
ass to the bench.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey
But
man,
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
okay.
man. It's
So
gonna
all right. So what's your rankings? Let's recap. What's your rankings?
Oh man. So
We already
again,
know who
we
you got
got
at number
Buffalo.
4.
We got I'm gonna start from 1. We got Buffalo 1. We got the Dolphins 2. We got the Jets 3. Yeah, it's kind of dark outside, man. But so it's gonna be that same way in New England come December.
Hey, bring it down a little bit. Bring it down a little bit so they can see. There you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
It's dark. It's dark. You probably can't see the streets. In New
Can't see
England, they
shit.
gonna see the playoffs. So it matches up, man. New England gonna be right down there at the fucking bottom. You can be as smart as you want over there at the bottom. All y'all smart ass coaches, man. Y'all smart ass gonna be home early. You have to see your family, Bill. I'm so sorry, Bill. You're gonna have to actually talk to your goddamn kids and that stupid ass dog that you had drafting them players for you. That's what you have to do.
Man.
That's what
So
you have to do. Yeah, man. How
I
about you,
got
man? Who you got?
I got New England 4. That's kind of a no brainer.
Oh God.
Um.
Don't throw them goddamn Jets there.
Shit, man. Again, them. I feel like that could be a switch. But I'll put you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put the Dolphins at 3. I'm gonna put the Jets at 2. I'm gonna be bold. I'm gonna make a bold prediction, and I'm gonna leave the Bills at 1. I'm gonna make a bold prediction. So I got the Bills 1, Jets 2, Dolphins 3, Patriots 4. Man, fuck it,
Yeah.
man.
Look, man.
We going with the new old pretty boy in New York, man.
Oh God, your ass, you
Hey,
gonna
A
be
Rod, I just need you to
crazy
give me
ass
3, 4. A
Scientologist.
Rod, I just need 3, 4 more wins, and
Boy,
we
that
can make this happen, nigga.
Scientologist. He's a Jehovah Scientologist witness astrologer at quarterback, man. I can't stand Aaron Rodgers, man.
A
You go
Rod.
ahead and you die on that Aaron Rodgers cross. I'm gonna believe that they're gonna win the same amount of games with twice as much pain. They're gonna win the same amount of games, but it's gonna hurt. They're gonna be so irritated. The city of New York is gonna be
Hey,
calling
man.
on Spider-Man. They're gonna be calling Batman. They're gonna be calling Tyrone. They're gonna try to get everybody to get his ass up out of there. He's gonna be the biggest villain New York has seen since Master Splinter. Oh, I swear to God, he's going to make Dr. Octopus look like Dr. Phil. Aaron Rodgers is the biggest villain New York has ever seen.
Say,
The
man.
Power Rangers can't save him.
Say, man, you
Batman
gonna
can't
stop coming
save
for
him.
my nigga A-Rod, man. Hey, you know what?
Spider-Man
You
can't
know what?
save him.
Fuck it,
This
man. I'm
villain,
going for Aaron. You know what? That's gonna be the nigga I'm going against you. You can go against Russell Wilson, the nigga Aaron Rodgers. Get me to 11 wins, baby. We need to prove this
again,
nigga wrong.
quote me, do whatever you need to do, make the damn deal where you save this message. I am on record. This is the last thing I'm going to say before we get off. Aaron Rodgers is the biggest villain New York has seen since the Joker. Aaron Rodgers is the biggest villain New York has seen since the Green Goblin. You know what? That's his nickname from now on because he's over there for the Jets.
Say,
This
man,
is
chill
the
out.
Green Goblin.
He is the Green
Aaron,
Lantern. He is the Green
Aaron,
Lantern.
Aaron Rodgers. There is Batman can't
He
save you,
is
New
the
York.
Green Lantern because they got that one ring, and he got that one ring, nigga. He is
No.
the Green Lantern. Say,
Aaron,
man,
look,
hey,
Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers,
Rodgers,
New
if you hear
York,
this,
city
man,
of New York.
don't listen to him. You're gonna get 3 to 4 more wins. You're gonna finish 11-6. You're gonna be a wild card team. 11-6. I'm calling
Flip
it
those
now.
numbers. Flip those numbers. Listen,
Oh,
city of New York.
16-1. My bad.
City of New York.
16-1.
Put up that bat signal. Do not, I swear to God, you better not turn on that bat signal because y'all asked for this.
Say, man.
Do not turn. Batman cannot save you. Batman
Say,
cannot
man.
save you. This is it. This is y'all's future
One
for the
of
next
us
3
over
years.
here is one of us over here is bold. 11-6. New York Jets. I'm calling it now. You can go ahead and say they're only gonna win one more game.
I'm not saying that.
8-9
They ain't
game.
gonna win another
Oh, I know
game.
you ain't changing.
Their
That's
ass
fine.
gonna sit right where they want.
That's fine. You just know we gonna recap this. We are gonna visit this again throughout the season, and one of us is going to look back, and that is okay.
8-9. 8-9 with
Hey, man.
twice the pain. It's gonna be a different feeling. 8-9. It's not gonna be optimistic 8-9.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a goddamn. We could have been drafting one of them young quarterbacks this year, but we're afraid of our Scientologist quarterback. He might send a tweet or go on a vacation and not tell us when he's coming back. 8-9. I'm telling you, I'm leaving you on that note. Y'all have a good day.
Rodgers. Aaron Charles Rodgers. That's all I have to say. This has been the Cold Truth Podcast. I'm White Boy Chris and that's Dre. Y'all just remember, we will be visiting this multiple times over the season. Multiple times.
Batman and Spider-Man, turn off y'all's phones.
We finally
Put your phones on Do Not Disturb for the
we got
city of New
somebody
York.
to go back and forth on, man.
Put your phones on Do Not Disturb for the city of New York. Go listen to them donkeys. They asked for this. Y'all have a good night. All right.